Time to call to order the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board. Oh, serious. All right. Is that AI? Okay. Sure.
Oh.
I wonder if maybe we should do this in Hawaiian and see if AI can transcribe properly. Very well. First order of business, the filling of vacancies on the board. We have 4 vacancies currently listed on the agenda: Crown Terrace, Kapunahala, Kokokahi, and Yacht Club Terrace. If there's anyone interested here or online that are interested in serving on the board from those districts, please say so now. Kapunahala? I don't know. If you bring your driver's license or your address to neighborhood board, he'll be able to verify. So the board sits in mild recess while we're waiting for this to happen. Kokokahi. What did I say? Said that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any others for Kapunahala? Or Crown Terrace or Kokokahi or Yacht Club Terrace? Hearing none and pending verification, I'll ask you to go to the microphone there and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you'd like to serve on the board. Is he good? Okay. And your name?
Aloha, my name is Zachary Pilien. Home is Kāne 96744, born and raised. Grew up down the street over there in back of, I always say in back of WCC, we're at WCC, by the Anchor Church and stuff like that over there. Ever since my entire life. Currently have been involved in mostly Aina kind things, community kind things, working in nonprofits who do volunteer kind of work, community hosting kind of stuff, mostly in Kailua, Waimanalo. Want to get more involved in Kaneohe because 4-4 represent. So trying to be here, and I've been showing up and see the usefulness, down to help out.
Right on. Thank you. Anyone have any questions? I'm sorry, your first name, Anthony? Zachary. Last name? Ilian. Any questions for Zachary? Okay, is there a motion to add Zachary to the board? Moved and seconded. All in favor? Any opposition or abstentions? Thanks, Donald. Welcome. See how easy that is? For those, yeah, come over here. And for those folks online watching and you want to serve on the board, we still have openings on the board and it's as easy as that. Come join us. In December, we have a whole potluck. Okay, moving on to city and community reports. Honolulu Fire Department. I don't know if they know we have a new location. Honolulu Police Department. I didn't see anybody down at Holly. Uh-oh. We must be busy. Marine Corps Base Hawaii. What month is this? Okay, well, Windward Community College. Well then, I know that there is a group that's here, and that's Castle High School. I'd like to turn the mic over to our Community Engagement Committee Chair, Abe Toma.
Thank you, Chair. Really quickly, I wanted to introduce the party from Castle High School. I wanted to first acknowledge my daughter, Tate, who asked me, Dad, why aren't there any more young people at the neighborhood board? And so that seeded with me an idea to reach out to Castle. I want to thank the board for supporting this idea of adding them to our agenda. And I especially want to recognize Renee Omori, who is the student activities coordinator at Castle. She's the one who has been helping get us organized here. as well as some of her students who are here with us today, Jersey Livingston, Khalil Bivin, and Yuko Obate. Thank you for joining us. This is their spring break, so they're taking their time out from their own time to be here. We look forward to your guys' report and for your continued participation at the neighborhood board. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Renee Omori. These three students are actually part of my student council. I oversee the student council at Castle High School. So we just wanted to share out a couple of things that are going on or coming up in the future at Castle. So one, on April 11th, we have a crafters clearance, which is the second craft fair hosted by our Ohana group, like our PTA group. They're referred to as Families and Friends of Castle. That, if people are interested in signing up, they're still taking applications for booths as well as share the word and bring everybody out. It's all in that area by the cafeteria and what we call the quad. It's like a little courtyard area, April 11th. And then on the 25th, April 25th, we have an auto show. Khalil is part of the auto club, which hosts this auto show, and it has all like classic cars and souped up trucks and cars and everything. And they even have vendors there. So it's really cool if you have a car you want to show or if you want to come and shop. And they also have food, and all of the councils actually sell things, fundraising things at the booths as well. So come on down, 25th. And then on May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'm looking to them because they actually have all the information. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of May, Poly Dance and Poly Music has their Ho'ike celebration, which is like their end of year. It is, if you have not ever seen it before, it is amazing. Like the whole crowd goes wild all the time. The only glitch we're having right now is there's construction going on in our auditorium. So they're not sure if we're gonna have it done by the time we have a Ho'ike. So we have a plan A, plan B, and plan C, but it's gonna happen. We just don't know if it's gonna be in the auditorium, in the gym, or in the quad area where the crafters clearance is as well. Any questions or anything?
Yes, thank you for the introduction. In the future, when you come to our meetings, will you be speaking?
If I do show up to any further meetings, I would like to speak in them, yes.
Good. I'd like to get your email address so that I can share with you some of the things that the board is looking at. So that way, when the student board comes to the meetings, they'll have seen some of the things that we're talking about and maybe can share their mana'o. Is that okay? Awesome. Thank you so much. Abe, thanks for spearheading this and getting another age group involved in the board. As you can see, we're not all spring chickens here, so having that special mana'o coming our way is going to be wonderful. Oh, I'm sorry. Fall chickens. Next is we have some board briefs and discussion. First up is a brief from the Neighborhood Commission Office. He canceled the brief, but basically what he's asking us is to be mindful of our districts. So what I'm going to ask is all board members take a look at our sub-districts, of which we have 14 sub-districts and 3 at-large members. Some boards are changing some of their composition. Some are making all at-large. We have pretty a wide reach, I think is why we have the 14, but I don't know why. So if anybody wants to talk about or establish a committee to look at how we want to compose our Kaneohe Neighborhood Board or leave it the way it is, certainly welcome to do that. I think they wanted some input by, do you know the date? I think it's sometime in April. So, which doesn't give us much time. So does anybody have any thoughts right now since it's on the agenda?
Shizuma over here. Well, considering that it sounds like it's due, whatever feedback is due before the next meeting, would that make more sense to have a pig? Yeah. I just
We could,
report- yeah.
we can establish a permitted interaction group to meet, or we can discuss it right now if there's that much interest, because it's on the agenda and we're here.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anybody jumping for joy to make any sort of changes. Go ahead, Adriel.
Yeah, I guess maybe some things we might consider adjusting to our borders is that there are some districts that are habitually vacant. I think sub-district 1 or 1 and 2 are habitually vacant, that we can combine some sub-districts that are empty all the time. And I guess another component is, will we have, I guess maybe the at-large is supposed to represent some segments of the community, like maybe the community townhomes or the community associations, if they can be recognized as part. Because I think a lot of our sub-districts are about single-family homes or neighborhoods. But if these community associations have any input, or these residential homeowners associations have any input, how do you incorporate them into the kind of the discussions for our neighborhood board?
Flytel. Yeah, I am sub-district 1, and I have often taken it upon myself to sort of do things that are in sub-district 2, which is right across the street. So, you know, if, of course, demographics notwithstanding, I mean, I could just take on number 2 because I do it anyway. AE Elementary, the gas coming out of the man. I mean, those are not in my district, but because I'm there, I could do 1 and 2. If that's the way we want to do it, because we haven't been able to fill 2 since I've been on the board. So
Any other thoughts or comments?
Laura here. Do we have autonomy to make this decision in any way we want, as far as if we want sub-districts or all at large or part or combination of?
Recommendation.
Okay, and then how does the final decision, how is that made?
Okay, I think I'm good. All right. So if any changes are proposed from the board and they'd like to request changes, that goes to the neighborhood commission to take up at the next commission meeting. And then from there, the commission will make the decision on whether those are put to fruition, for lack of better words. I guess a recommendation, Chair, to board members, what other boards have done in the past for sub-districts that are unable to fill the vacancies. What they do is they will convert those to at-large just for the term, to fill those seats for the term. So for example, say sub-districts 2, 13, and 14 were requested to be at-large, and the commission puts those to at-large. At the end of this board term in 2027, those would be converted back to their respective sub-districts. But for this term, they could be filled as at-large seats, just as a recommendation and for you guys to consider.
So a little bit of history to answer your question on how somebody gives it the thumbs up. There are a number of boards that are proposing changes for their boards. Like you said, if there's no quorum, they have to figure out ways to be able to conduct business. So combining at-large sorts of seats to be able to at least conduct a vote. It's not necessarily happening with ours, but we do have, 17 board members, and we need to have 9 either online or present to conduct business.
Chair, may I just, this is Dale Carstensen. I just would like to go on record. I think it's important that the sub-districts remain in place, because then you have the ability to understand exactly what is happening in your area and the community can speak to you. So
Okay.
go on record.
Any other comments?
Yeah, Shizuma again. Just curious, that piece of historical evidence about 2 being regularly vacant is very helpful. I was curious to know about, I guess, 13 and 14. Is that similar?
I'd have to go back and look, but 13, Yacht Club Terrace is 14, 13 is Coco Kahi. I don't remember seeing Coco Kahi being open very often. Yacht Club Terrace, yes, that's been open a lot. Do you want to establish a permitted interaction group? Just so we have the 3 weeks to get together and talk about it?
Yeah, I moved that we do that, establish a pig for this. I think it'd be good. And we can do a little bit more research on the history, like what has been vacant over time too.
Been moved to establish a permitted interaction group to talk about the board composition? Yes, it's been moved. It's been seconded. All in favor? Any opposition or abstention? Okay, before we will establish a permitted interaction group. Since you made the motion, would you like to lead it?
Sure.
Okay, there's your lead. Off we go. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next item. That is I saw somebody come in. They still here? Okay, on the phone. Let's go with discussion position 45221 Kahanahu Circle dock construction. Anybody here to discuss that? Seeing none, let's move on to Christy. I see you, but we're not going to do it right yet. We'll just continue here.
Hey, Mo, before we move on, Shizuma over again on your right. We need an arch next time. So because they're not here, we're not going to discuss this or take a position on it.
You want to bring it up and discuss what you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, I would like to discuss. I guess I looked into it a little bit, so
Good.
I didn't have the discussion.
Thank you. I didn't mean to go so fast. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna share a screen if that's all right. I think you have to give me permission to share. Kyoni Shizuma on there.
You have permission.
Yeah, the webmaster needs.
Oh. I got you.
Okay, so they submitted I think it was a draft EA for their CDUP. Sorry, I don't remember what that stands for, but and
Yeah.
so as I was looking through it, the action area, that's as big as I can make it on my end. So I don't know if it's hard to see up there, but maybe I can see my mouse. Where my mouse is, this is the boundary that they indicate they're going to have a net that extends this far out, and then the dock is in here. And within their EA, they explain that the proposed project is aligned with long-range objectives and broad policies for land use development and socioeconomic set forth in the general plan, the Oahu General Plan. But when you look at the Oahu General Plan, I don't see anything that calls to any kind of nothing calls for more private beach access or private docks or private ocean access. Within the plan itself, it does encourage ocean recreational activities for residents and visitors, but it's all public access that the Oahu General Plan is talking toward. In their draft EA, they also submit for in alignment to the Kaneohe Bay Master Plan, saying that the plan does not refrain from limiting moorings of small skiffs in shallow portions of the bay, but in the Kaneohe Master Plan itself, they do talk about new mooring areas in C and D, which is over here in this red circle. And where my mouse is over here, but this green star, that's actually where the property is. So while it does not limit moorings, in the Kaneohe Master Plan, it actually just, it explains where they actually want more moorings to be. So to me, that is incorrect in the draft EA. Right there. No new mooring permit shall be issued for designated areas unless there's C&D, unless there's more feedback given. Public acceptable. That can demonstrate he or she has acceptable public or private land access to the shoreline, including adequate parking for that area. And that wasn't part of their EA. And then they also talk about in the Ko'olapoko Sustainable Communities Plan, They say that the plan supports and encourages public access to the shoreline, not private access. Nowhere in the plan does it suggest private access. Oh, sorry. This note right here refers to Ko'olau Poko Sustainable Communities Plan, where all of it is calling out for public access, not private access. This is from the draft EA that says that it conforms with the vision of the community plan as it maintains the character of Kahanaho. But within the plan itself, it has nothing to do. It doesn't mention anything about the character of Kahanaho or any kind of anything in alignment with what they're planning to do. Anyway, I'm trying to see if there's much more. Generally it's the same. They try to align it to the plans, the Oahu General Plan, the Kaneohe Bay Plan, and the Ko'olau Poko Sustainable Communities Plan. But the way that they did seems to be incorrect. They say that they're in alignment with the plan, doing what the plan is asking for, but they're asking for private access and a private dock, which is nowhere near. So not saying it's a good or bad idea. I'm just saying that what they submitted doesn't seem to be accurate according to what they're claiming, which is alignment to the different plans. So because of that, I think I feel like the board shouldn't support this. The draft EA was incorrectly done. Maybe they can redo it, come back, and if they want to try again, go ahead. But again, I'm not commenting at all on the notion, on the intent or the activity that they're doing. Just what they submitted is flawed. So I think we shouldn't accept this, or we should recommend against passing this.
Does anyone know if private docks, you can build a private dock on your property? You cannot. Oh, well then, that was a lot of, okay. Any other discussion? Thanks for that. That was very helpful.
If I could add, I mean, I think if you have an existing dock, you can still improve it. Is that correct? But there's no new docks.
Any other discussion?
Question, didn't the county respond to this? Didn't we, because I thought I read that did we not get something from the county where they said it was in compliance?
No, I sent what they sent to the whole board, and all it was a letter of transmission saying this is what they wanted to do, and I sent
They
it to the
received-
board to look
okay.
at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't make a decision one way or the other. But I guess in terms of discussion and decision points, we will do that if somebody wants to make a motion.
I move, thanks David for doing all the research and making comments. I move that we send the proposal back to the proposer for revisions with noted comments. Board does not approve.
Sakamoto second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we take this information here from this board discussion, return it back to the folks doing the EA and requesting to build out, and with the board's disapproval. Is that correct?
Also note that they need to correct the address. On the submission, the address is in conflict there.
Okay. Any other additions to this motion? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? Mahalo. Thanks for stopping me, Vice Chair. We're going to move on to Dangerous Road at Kaneohe Bay Yacht Club. And Mr. Bates.
Good evening. Thank you very much for allowing me to come and make the presentation. I'm on the board of directors and run one of the sustainability committee at Kaneohe Yacht Club and live on Kaneohe Bay Drive. I went to the traffic division about a month ago and asked them if they would consider putting a crosswalk and a speed bump between Kaneohe Yacht Club and Yacht Club Terrace condos. And the response back that I got, very politely, was that unless this board wrote a letter of approval and support, that they wouldn't even consider it. So that's my purpose being here tonight. I've provided a letter to you, and the letter which I was giving to the traffic division is from Kaneohe Yacht Club Board of Directors to the City and County of Honolulu Traffic Division. I don't want to read the letter, but I will summarize it very briefly for you. There are over 1,000 people who come and use this small particular area of Kaneohe Bay Drive, where the yacht club is right across the street from Yacht Club Terrace condos. There are 2 bus stops there, right at that spot. So when you come out of the driveway of Kaneohe Yacht Club, just to the right is a bus stop, and directly across the street, there's a bus stop. A number of pedestrian, and one other very important point, there's only a sidewalk on the Yacht Club Terrace side. There is no sidewalk for the houses and the Kaneohe Yacht Club side. There are about 12 houses this affects that are our neighbors. Our neighbors would very much like to get a crosswalk, and our yacht club members would, to cross the street to the sidewalk and then walk one way or the other, or get a bus one way or the other. Right now, it's a free-for-all on the street, and it's a densely populated and highly used area. During the summertime, actually it's 8 months out of the year, we have junior sailing programs at the yacht club, and there are a lot of kids who go back and forth, and a lot of the parents who are bringing their children there for sailing are not members of the yacht club, so they park across the street on the Yacht Club Terrace side and then walk across. So right now, I would describe it as an accident waiting to happen. And it's for senior citizens and children that is our primary concern, but also regular people who are adults who park across the street and then go into the yacht club and they're carrying stuff. So people driving on that street are usually very surprised when somebody just gets out of their car, steps out, and goes across the street instead of the other way. So what I'm asking, in short, is that your group, the neighborhood board, write a letter saying, we think it's a good idea that you guys, the city and county traffic division, put a crosswalk and a speed bump there. One of the ones where the speed bump is underneath the crosswalk. And that's all I have to say.
Are there any questions? Are the bus stops directly across from each other?
Yes. And I did send pictures.
The pictures are not clear.
Okay.
It doesn't answer the questions that I have. Lots of pictures.
I did. I sent you 7 pictures.
Yeah, I see them all. Any other questions? Yeah.
To Flytel, did we not already go down this path previously about trying to get a crosswalk where there was not a stoplight or there was not an intersection? And that was what we were told by the county. I think it's a great idea, but so believe me, I'm in your corner. Okay. However, I think the county's policy is, we have already been told once that no, there's no intersection. Okay. There's no light. Wouldn't it be good if they put up a blinking light or a caution light or something? That's what would have to happen. Really, it's not saying it can't happen, but I think that's what the county's going to say.
Okay, thank you. The gentleman came here and gave us an issue, so let's make him tell us no again, if that's the case.
Chair, I just tried to do an AI, since we were using AI and something else. And it says that Department of Planning and Permits must be the go-to first and foremost. Are you aware of that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
He was told to come to the neighborhood board. So let's just deal with that right now. He's at the board. He's given us his brief. So let's just deal with that. And if DPP or somebody else wants to be the first in line, he's been told to come here. So here he is. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'll add to that. You know, I generally don't like speed bumps, but I do think there's a good statement for a crosswalk, like we've been fighting for the Bahia Road crosswalk. There needs to be some kind of traffic control measure. I think if we can put a letter that we need, traffic control measures at the yacht club to mitigate traffic, speeding
So,
or whatever.
I don't intend to write a letter. I intend to say exactly what we want to have done at the board and be in the minutes of this meeting. That will suffice as a letter.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So not so much for the speed bump because that wasn't the issue. The issue was having a crosswalk.
the issue is managing traffic there. So we need a traffic control measure to mitigate the
Safety. issue.
hazards of
Safety
people
issue.
crossing over it's a safety
Safety.
issue.
Okay,
The safety issue.
thank you. Any other discussion?
Sakamoto.
Sakamoto, go ahead.
Yeah, as a blind individual, disabled person, I totally agree with the safe access way crosswalk. So whatever you decide, I support.
Thank you. Are there, well, we had some discussion. Does the board want to take a position on a crosswalk at that location?
Sakamoto, yes.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? There you
Thank
have
you
it.
very much.
And this will be noted in the minutes. So whoever's asked you for our blessing shall have it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support and your time.
Yeah, you bet. This is not the first time this has come up at that particular location. Yeah, it's okay. It's always good to get a better, a different perspective. Next, we have a presentation and a board position on Kulali Street Crosswalk.
Aloha,
Sorry.
Chair and members of the board. I'm here today regarding the request to install a sidewalk along Kulali Street in front of Pu'ahala Elementary. As shown in the photos provided, students walking to and from school are forced to use an informal path on one side of the street while the other side is blocked by overgrown vegetation. This creates a serious safety hazard. The lack of a proper sidewalk also limits accessibility, especially for individuals with disabilities. We strongly urge the board to prioritize this request and work with Councilmember Kāne, City and County, and the Safe Routes to School program to address this need. We would also like to add that our community strongly supports HB 2360 for paid family leave, and we hope that Senator Kyoho Kalole will consider scheduling it for a hearing. Mahalo for your time and for your commitment to keeping our community safe.
Do you, can you say one more time what you'd like the board to do?
Yeah, we'd love your support in getting a sidewalk installation, working with Councilmember Kāne and City and County and the Safe Routes to School program.
Yeah. Correct. I was just over the overgrowth. The overgrowth is not an issue anymore. Is it still an issue?
Well, the issue is that
when
it
was the-
keeps growing back. So there's nothing there. We haven't heard of any plans to keep it from growing back, which has been a concern. And there's still a lack of a sidewalk for the students there and the families who
So
live
the
there.
the issue is not the overgrowth. That was taken care of by the owner and HECO, as I went out and looked at that myself, and has also been verified. So the issue is actually the sidewalk.
Yes, it's
Where
both. If there's a plan to prevent it from growing back, that would be great because
Well,
it
they-
continues to grow back.
Yeah, for sure. And it's still going to force kids out into the street because even if that one section is grown is grown back or cut back, they still have to cross over
Right.
to get to the school. So there needs to be a sidewalk on the other side of the street. So yes. That's on, yes. Any, yeah, go ahead, Adriel.
Yes, sir. Chair, I also want to, I mean, I think I get your point is it's the overgrowth that's causing a problem. And it's also, well, it's the lack of maintenance on it. I think it's not maintained regularly. So there's, after a couple weeks, it's overgrown and it causes, it's a safety hazard where kids are having to walk farther into the roadway as far as opposed to roads, you know, cars going down the street. I tie this in with the footpaths that are through the community. There's one that goes behind Pool Hollow School into the other community and one that crosses over to the Main Highway. Those are not maintained or hardly maintained. I go there quite often and it's just trashed and it's rather intimidating for young kids to be walking through there. And I think if there's I would prefer to see an inquiry of regular maintenance to these places, like 2 or 3 weeks that it gets cut back so that there's actually a little safety standoff that they can walk closer to the side of the road. And there's plenty of room for cars to go through there. If they can have that safety factor of not having to walk through brush or walk next to brush to get to where they need to go through on those roads. So that's my comments on it. Thanks.
Sakamoto.
Go ahead, Donald.
Yeah, as a disabled blind person who did extensive cane training at Ho'opono State Agency for Blind, walking on a sidewalk with a lot of obstacles is very difficult. And an ADA law, Americans with Disability Act, you need 3 feet and accessible, nothing blocking. So I totally agree that there should be something done about this situation. Yeah.
Like what?
Either
Install a sidewalk or maintain the grass.
maintain the grass, either put some type of barrier from the grass from going over or something just to make it sure that it doesn't come back again. If there's a solution that way, yeah, before doing a cross.
I mean, it's like bird maintenance. It grows back real quick within a week or two. And if there's brush that's just hanging over the edge, it's a safety factor of it creates a blind turn, especially on the inside, where if it's grown over, the kid's got to step out farther into the road to avoid it. And if they can cut it at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, make sure it's you don't have that overgrowth.
So on your way to the school, if you're going towards the school, we're talking about the property that's on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, where the sidewalk would probably be, is that what you're talking about, where the sidewalk would be on the left side? Proposed sidewalk, are you still there?
Yes. Yeah, either side would be great. Just something for them to walk along.
It is not the school, if, as Mo just described, is not the school on the left side of the street.
It is.
So wouldn't it
Right.
make sense to have a sidewalk on that side of the street? Because the owners of this land, who we have dealt with before, getting them to do something every couple of weeks to maintain the vegetation is good luck. But what we really need is a sidewalk. The sidewalk on the side of the street where the school actually is. That would solve the problem. Yes?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Shizuma here. Maybe it's about making the informal path, as they call it, on the left thicker or wider. ADA access, as Donald mentioned, 3 feet, and that's the solution that we're looking for.
So
Grass
that-
won't grow on the cement, so.
So just a path and not a
Oh,
cemented sidewalk?
It's a sidewalk. Currently, it looks like a path.
It is a path.
But I think what they're asking for and what is the solution to the grass and the ADA access would be an actual sidewalk.
Correct.
Cemented sidewalk, right? Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody want to make any kind of motion? Here comes a motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we recommend that a sidewalk be built. It's again, a safety issue for elementary school kids to get to school. So the sidewalk to be built on that side of the street where the elementary school is.
Sakamoto
to
second.
alleviate-
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? Let's make sure that we're clear in the minutes what we're asking for. So it doesn't seem like something that's going to languish because of not being clear. So that's for the neighborhood commission. What we want to have is a sidewalk on the left side going to Puahala Elementary School. And the maintenance issue on the right-hand side is an issue for whoever the property owners are. But that's what we want is a sidewalk. And it doesn't have to be a large one. It's just, we're probably looking at about 50 feet. Okay, thank you. Next up, we have a HECO brief, renewable energy zones. Hi, team. There it is. That means at least 3 people are not at home. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members of the board, for having us tonight. Aloha, everybody. My name is Talon Sokugawa. I am the manager of corporate energy planning at Hawaiian Electric. My team is responsible for the long-term resource planning for the company and for their service territory. Tonight, we're going to share and introduce a concept known as renewable energy zones, or REZs, what they mean for communities, how you all can share your input and participate in upcoming events. Next slide, please. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, so I just want to share and highlight the company's commitment to a clean energy future. So the company is committed to net zero emissions and 100% renewable generation by 2045, while striving to provide customers choices, improving reliability, and stabilizing rates. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are renewable energy zones? So renewable energy zones are areas with high potential for renewable generation. The intent for renewable energy zones is to help focus development where renewable energy will be most efficient and cost effective. Next slide, please. So how does renewable energy zones align with the state's climate goals? So again, we're trying to enable more renewable generation to hit our state's goals, modernize the infrastructure of the grid, as well as reduce our reliance on imported oil. Hopefully this will lead to energy independence and security. In addition, the governor executive order from 2025 and the PUC, our Public Utilities Commission, directed the companies to identify 2 REZs on Oahu by June of this year. Next slide, please. Okay, so typically, the typical process for interconnecting new renewable generation is done on a project-by-project basis. So generally, it's a reactive process. We get proposals, we get plans. The company will assess how to best interconnect that new generation resource. This can take up a lot of time and resources. So the goal here with renewable energy zones is to be proactive, to look for areas and plan for infrastructure that could interconnect multiple projects in one or more common locations. So hopefully this will lead to lower costs, quicker interconnections of renewable generation with more certainty compared to the project-by-project method. Next slide, please. Okay, so here's a map of the renewable energy zones on Oahu. We initially started with 8 zones. We are in zone 6 currently. That's highlighted in the orange. So the commission, again, directed us to now this list from 8 to 2. So we're in the process of doing that now. So next slide, please. So one way we started to narrow down the list is we started a community working group. So this group is made up of community advocacy groups, nonprofits, and other resource groups to provide input on the community priorities and values to help identify, or rather go from that 8 list to what we're doing now is a short list of 4 renewable energy zones, and we're working our way towards the 2. Next slide, please. Okay, so there's a lot of factors to consider in identifying or selecting the renewable energy zone. And so the company, along with this community working group and you all, are trying to look at all these different factors and weigh them. So there are things like generation potential of a renewable energy zone, cost, affordability, is an area more susceptible to climate risk and others. So these are things that the company is trying to get feedback and balance on. Next slide, please. Okay, so the company has launched a new website. The link is Hawaii up in the right corner, hawaiipower.com/rez/cycle2. And it will bring up a map, but these are the current 4 potential res we're looking at now. And it will allow anybody to go in and place points on the map and provide comments. If they have concerns, if they have benefits that they want to highlight, it's available on the map, and the company will use this feedback in our process. Okay. Next slide. Oh, sorry. Can we go back a slide?
HawaiiPower.com/what?
Res, REZ, //cycle2. Thank you. Okay. The next slide, please. And I think this is my last slide. So the Hawaiian Electric will be hosting 2 open houses next month, one at Leeward Community College and one here. But I think I apologize. I think it's a different room from this room. So we request participation, folks to come out, provide feedback. We'll also have snacks as incentives. No, just joking. Yeah, but we'll have snacks. Yeah. I think that's my last slide. So next slide, I think it's questions. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions for?
Sakamoto.
Okay, hold on, Donald. Any others? Okay, we'll go with Sakamoto, Shizuma, Lamb, Lytle.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you for your presentation, Donald Sakamoto. As a blind individual, I'm accessing maps are difficulty with some of the county maps, as well as other maps for private company Title III of the ADA. There's a bill SB 2852 going to the legislature. They have all website accessible for people with certain disabilities like myself. How well is your map capability with my accessibility for people who are blind with their talking software to understand what the map shows?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know offhand, but I think I can work with our communication folks to make sure they're accessibility friendly. But right now, yeah, it's mostly through the website, but that's something I can take back to the team to make sure visually impaired folks have access to understanding the information.
Yeah, totally blind and sight impaired and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Be appreciated. Thank you.
Hi, I have the next question. So for renewable energy zones, and I understand it's on the project, it affects the projects and how they're approved. What I don't understand in the very basic sense, so I apologize for this, is when you refer to project, are we talking about large scale projects, or are we talking like every house solar project, solar system is their own project? Like, what is a project?
That's a great question. For the most part, it's those larger projects. We're looking at projects that might take up a larger land space than somebody's rooftop. This is usually what's considered utility scale. Yeah.
Thank you.
So my question, which I was going to ask you just straight up, renewable energy. Okay, let's take our current zone that we're sitting in right now.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see, you don't have a lot of space for a solar farm. That's one. I'm assuming you could decide to put in a bunch of panels on some 5-acre space and generate power. But we don't have any space like that. So I'm amiss. What is it that, if you're not talking about, every south facing roof in this residential area, which you should be doing, that's my opinion already. Okay. what kind of project are you talking about?
Sorry, so yes, I didn't make this clear in the map slide, but at this stage of the process, we're not identifying specific projects or specific design plans. Hypothetically, the company is generally agnostic to procurements. So if there are developers or other parties who wish to do a solar farm or a new technology that might come out in the future, we're not limiting those opportunities. For this zone specifically, it might not have the highest renewable potential as the other zones, but we look at other factors like things like proximity to existing infrastructure or cost and affordability that might make it more attractive to put some renewable generation. But we're not trying to limit to specific technologies at this time. But it's a great question.
Yeah, so I just want to first thank HECO for all the crews out there that worked tirelessly overnight through the winds and rains to restore power. I think that's credit to HECO. A great work out there. But I think as far as this is concerned, what I like to see is how do you make each region independent? I mean, I see your renewable energy zones, but does that give us the independence that we need if we're cut off, that we can generate our own power or store our own power and draw from that? So will you be introducing things? I mean, there's discussion on SMRS. Is that going to be one of the proposals, sand batteries, other latest technology that's out there? And do you allow proposals to bring that into the islands? Because, I mean, I see you monopolizing the process, but how do you open that up for us to be a little more independent with their power generation or with local communities?
Okay, great set of questions. There's a lot that I can unpack there. But first, yes, the credit goes to the crews. We've been working really hard the last few, unfortunately, I think it's been like a week since the storm started. In terms of power independence, there is potential through the reses to do things like serve locally communities where the renewable energy systems are generating. But it will depend on the design. And so again, we don't have a design proposal in place now, but there is potential for that to happen. Especially in the Ko'olau area, there's 3 transmission. I think most of you guys know there's 3 transmission lines that feed this area. There is potential with the right design to augment the existing transmission system to increase resiliency and reliability. We're not at that stage yet to prescriptively say what that would be. And that goes along the line, similarly with the technology resources. We're open to proposals. We're not picking or pigeonholing between one technology versus another. So if there's something new that comes along in the future that looks cost effective, will bring reliability at a good cost and green, we'll consider it.
Hi, this is Laura. And so are you looking for state land, city land? You're just opening it up to a community like Kaneohe, but are we trying to help you find open space, or I'll rent you a part of my land? Or
I think we are engaging with the state agencies and the counties to see if there are lands that would be available for development or things that are definitely off limits. But with the community, we're definitely interested in the values that you all have and trying to prioritize those in selecting a res. So a little bit of both. Yes, we are partnering with the state, but we're not asking you to right now commit to forking up land or anything like that.
And what can we expect happening at Windward Community College on the 9th of April?
Oh, that's a great question. So there will be more information specifically on res, a little bit more in depth on the process, as well as just informal interactions with the community. It's an opportunity for you guys to come up and ask us more questions, more in depth, and have more in-depth conversations.
One more follow-up question over here with Chizuma. Just is there gonna be, or is there a set ending when all this community input is being taken? I understand we have the workshops, and then after that, but like, is it like up until June, and then we're gonna stop the website and taking in comments?
Oh no, this is I believe an ongoing effort. So I don't think there's a sunset time on the website just yet. Yeah.
And one more question. In preparation for April, I like to get my mind in the right mindset for coming to a community-based meeting. So where should my mind be coming to this meeting in April. You said, talk about my values. Um, that leaves, that's a lot of ground.
Hi, Kanani, my Education and Consumer Affairs at Hawaiian Electric. Thank you for having us and thank you for that question. On April 9th, we'll be having our public meeting here, actually at Haleakua room 113, so right in this hallway here. So what Helen had mentioned as well is it's going to start at 6 o'clock. So 6 to 7 o'clock is we're going to have our open house portion. So we'll have poster boards, we'll have our subject matter experts that will go over exactly what the res zone is in zone 6 in this Kaneohe Ko'olapoko area. And we'll be able to have one-on-one conversations and dialogue exactly what that means for you. 7 o'clock to 8:30, we will have a presentation style with more Q&A in that. But really what we want to do, that web you had up there, and I apologize, it's not on the flyer that you have in front of you, but we would like input from all of our community. So anybody is able to go up on there, drop a pin on the map and just put comments on there. This is not a place where renewable energy can be considered, or the map is Oahu. So you can put your pin on the maps wherever you would like and provide comments in that way. So really we're asking for community feedback and input, and we will take all of that input and we will file it with the Public Utilities Commission when we have to file the 2 renewable energy zones by June of this year. So really it's
Says who? Who said that?
It's in the PUC inclinations that was.
They 8 was too much?
I'm sorry?
They eight of those zones were too many? Because I feel like if you're going to narrow it down to 2, this side of the island, especially Kaneohe, and going north or west is going to suffer a little bit more than other areas. I'm not sure why 8 is too hard to manage. I'll ask that question April 9th.
Sure. Thank you.
I don't need to respond to that now. But now that it's out there, I'm going to ask that on the 9th. So hopefully somebody has an answer.
I can chime in real quick here. So the 2 is the priority. So the inclinations also made it clear that if there's more proposals that come along that's outside the res, those should also be considered. So the company's not excluding potential projects in other areas. It's just they want us to prioritize. They asked us to prioritize 2.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nice job. Next up, Marine Corps Base Hawaii.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board and community. Christy Kalohivo, Marine Corps Base Hawaii. Several updates. I wanted to share that reminder that this is a RIMPAC year. We do expect the additional military members to begin moving in towards the ending of June. And then they'll be leaving first week, second week of August. They are in their final planning this month, and so we should have some more information going forward. Also, this is Colonel Bevan's change of command year. We do expect that to be in May. He's not leaving the island and he'll be moving on to Indo-PACOM. So he will still be on the Marine Corps base, but working in Indo-PACOM. We've also been working on updating our website. And this has been over the course of several months. And in that, we lost the ability to collect our noise reports through that venue. It's been fixed. And they're working on making me a nice poster or a flyer that I can share with everybody. And I said, please make it a QR code so people can just click on it and very easily be able to report. And I like getting that better because it comes on my computer and it's just easier to receive. Also, I wanted to share that if you're not aware, MCCS hosts monthly 5K races that are open to the public. And anybody can join this activity. It's very easy to register. the website, MCCS Hawaii, and then the recreational area, or down at the very bottom, it'll say special events. And just look for the 5K race, and you can register and they will sponsor you. And it's an opportunity to run in different locations. It's never in the same place. This month's was scheduled for the beginning of the month, and since all of the bad weather, they had to shift it. So it'll be happening on the 21st. Unfortunately, for March, if you haven't already registered, it is too late, but please keep that in mind for April. Also, MCCS is doing a hiring, and I wanted to share that Lieutenant O'Hara had done some follow-up work for Uncle Sakamoto because there was a request regarding the childcare. So what he found out was that they are looking to hire. There is a shortage. I know that the installation in a whole is working at about a 41% reduction in our staffing. So for MCCS, they are hiring. They are hiring for childcare and other locations such as the MCX. So if anybody is interested, or you know somebody who may be looking for a part-time, summertime, or other position, MCCS Hawaii, and it's very easy to go onto that website to look at what job opportunities are available. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Marine Corps Base Hawaii?
Sakamoto.
Do you have any understanding about the gas station and what the repairs are, if it will ever be reopened?
I know that they had shut the other gas lanes down for quite some time for some repairs, and it was quite lengthy. I'm guessing, but I can find out and confirm with you exactly what and when it'll be reopened.
Thank you. Sakamoto.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Christy, for the report about the daycare situation. Regarding the security on base, since we have a war going on in the Middle East with Iran, how's the security at the front gate and back gate? Is it on high alert? What rating are we at right now?
Don't answer that.
Oh,
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, thanks very much. Sorry, Donald. We don't. We don't talk security measures. Suffice it to say that people are safe. I had an agenda. What's next? Oh, resident community concerns.
Hey, Mo.
Hello.
Shizuma. Artist is here too. So if Winter Community College has something.
Oh, okay. Super. Windward Community College for their brief.
Hello, my kako, Cherokee. Thank you for having us here tonight. 113 for people's information for the upcoming meeting is just behind these doors here. It's in the hallway. It's a windowless room, which will underscore why we need sunlight and energy, right? So it's depressing, but we'll enjoy the meeting because it will be uplifting in its information, I'm sure. So tonight, I just want to share one thing, and that is on March 31st, which is 2 Wednesdays from now, is our Great Big Career Expo. We worked to bring in employers. The minimum floor they have to provide is a salary equivalent to $40,000 a year, whether it's salary or hourly. However, most are above the $40,000 threshold, looking to bring more higher wage jobs into our community and help our community to be able to stay here and have a good standard of living or quality of living. There's so far 47 employers. I believe we added 48 today, and that's about as many as we can hold in this room. There'll be a free lunch that our cafeteria will be providing for everyone who comes. If you know anyone who's looking for a job or looking for a better job, we'd love to flood this room with people and fill vacancies within our community and close to our community, as well as there are a few work from home what do they call it? Like distance work, telework, that's it. Work from home telework opportunities that will be provided as well. Marine Corps Base Hawaii will be there. We're excited. It's a mix of federal, county, state positions, as well as private employers and agencies. Okay, that's all I got for today. I'll just see.
Thank you.
Put them on the back table, yeah?
What was the date again?
March 31st, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here. And there will be a lunch over here, right near the cafeteria somewhere as well.
Food for this one too?
For
Okay.
the at Career Expo, employers and those seeking employment. So even if you're just hungry and want to pretend that you're looking for a high-paying job, we appreciate the bodies walking through there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. That's 2 meals being provided here. Okay, time for resident community concerns. Are there any resident community concerns at this time? Is this an announcement or a community concern? Just wait a sec. Yes.
What exact date is the library gonna open?
Great question. I don't know, but hopefully one of the elected officials that we're coming to next can answer that question. So we'll keep that question right on the front burner, okay?
Thank
Mahalo. Any other community concerns, announcements? Go ahead. Please. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lisa Uesato from Windward Neighborhood Security Watch Coordinators Group. And I just wanted to let everyone know that on April 11th, Saturday at Kaneohe District Park on the pool side, from 8 o'clock until noon, there will be a Malama 96744 graffiti paint out and community cleanup. This is a very well-organized event and all of the equipment is provided. The registration for the event is up till April 8th. And the event is on April 11th. This is a good opportunity for students to earn 4 hours of community service. And youth who are 17 and younger must be accompanied by an adult. So if anybody wants to paint out graffiti and do cleanups on April 11th, they are welcome. And 4 hours of community service for students.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Will there be food?
Yeah, they have snacks that are provided.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Okay, moving on to elected officials. Representative Jill Takuta's office.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board and Kaneohe community. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Happy to see everyone as much as I can through my screen. We hosted our Kaneohe Town Hall last week at the same location and was very happy to meet members of the board in person and some of the community members that I've had the opportunity to speak with and work with. Not too much of an update here other than from what I shared earlier this month with the chair, but I guess just a reminder really, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat for those that want to pull that information directly. We have the 2026 Congressional Art Competition open, and we're still accepting pieces of art from students from 8th grade to 12th grade. And that deadline for art pieces are due on April 8th. So our community relations manager can reach or work with our students and teachers. This information has gone out, to my knowledge and to what was shared with me. This information has gone out already in advance to teachers in our district, art teachers, so they're aware, hopefully working with students. But if you have any questions or any parents in the audience or in your communities that don't know about this and are interested in having their children participate, you can contact me. There's my email there on the screen, as well as calling our district office. I'm one of those who answer the phone regularly, so I'm happy to forward any other information that people might want. But again, deadlines for the art pieces, as of now, it may be extended as it was last year. But as of now, the deadline is April 8th. And I know that's less than a month away. Oh, and the theme for this year's competition is Reflections of Hawaii. So it's very, there isn't any hard, as far as like restrictions regarding the theme. So that it really is interpretive of what how the student interprets the theme. So there are rules there that are posted on the website. And I can share that also out if anyone is interested and wants to share that out. Other than that, that's all I really have for now. I know there are some community concerns that came in earlier this week. Thank you to Mr. Sakamoto about sharing about the damage to their road, his roadway or his neighborhood's roadway. So we're working with USPS on that to figure out the mail delivery services issue. And again, I welcome any other issues that are happening because of the flooding or any other federal agency issues that we can help with. Please feel free to email me or call our district office. We'll be happy to help as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Governor Green's representative. Diane? Oh, she's muted.
Oh, shoot. Hello. How's this?
Hello. That's good.
Okay. Sorry. Governor Green has a monthly newsletter, Ke Alaho, and you can read the latest edition, which is out now, and sign up if you'd like the newsletter in your inbox at governor.hawaii.gov/newsletter. To answer the very young constituent's question about the Kāne Ohe Public Library update, I guess the short answer is I don't have an answer, but the deeper explanation from the library is the temporary location at the mall closed December 31st, 2025 to prepare for the reopening of the Kaneohe Public Library after 2 years of renovations. The renovated library was supposed to reopen in February as stated on its website, but the reopening date has been pushed back. A new projected reopening date should be announced soon. And then I gave a link to the website, librarieshawaii.org/branch/Kaneohe Public Library. So I'm sorry about the library situation. Third item would be mailing notice for taxpayers. Just to remind people from the Department of Taxation, the new U.S. Postal Service postmark procedures could affect filing deadlines. USPS now postmarks mail with the date it is processed at the postal facility, not the date you drop it into the mailbox, which could be up to 3 days later or more for inter-island and mainland mail. Hawaii Department of Transportation has street names in Hawaiian. It continues to efforts to add Hawaiian diacritical markings to street name and destination signs on the state highway system. And it's looking for your feedback on its master list of street names and destinations. You can also look at possible meanings of street names. This effort is focused on the 2,000 state highways and connecting streets. If you're looking for a street and it actually is a county, not a state street, HDOT will share that feedback with the appropriate county. It is replacing misspelled street signs over time as it does other repairs in the area, and it will contact property owners on the streets that might be misspelled. I provided the board a link to a Facebook post from DOT, which includes a link to its Olelo Hawaii State Street Names webpage, where you can go and download the master street name list and provide comments. Public comments are accepted throughout the year. And then lastly, to our neighbors up north, Kahuku Medical Center's new electronic health record system. The governor released $2 million in capital improvement project funds to install and implement an electronic health record system at Kahuku Medical Center. The $2 million is in general obligation bond funds. Total project cost is $4.1 million, and this project is scheduled to be done in September. That is my report.
Thank you. Up to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative.
Here, Radke, can you hear me? This is Andy.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my camera's not working. So you have to bear with me. The mayor's newsletter is posted at the city's website. I think the highlight is, I believe he's going to do his final tour of town halls. And for the Windward side, the town hall will be on April 23rd from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Waimanalo District Park Gym. That's coming up. As you all know, we're working on the city's budget right now. We just received the council members' first amendment set, and that'll go into the council draft 1 coming up next month. And actually later this month on the 30th of March. And we'll have a public hearing on that. You can get more information at the City Council website on the time of the public hearing. I believe it's at 10 o'clock if you want to check in online. With regard to department level issues for follow-up, there were 3 issues. One related to parks and recreation. With regard to Kaneohe District Park tennis courts on the upper side, residents showed picture of the courts with deep cracks filled with weeds. DPR reported back that its maintenance supervisor inspected the tennis courts on February 24th at 2:15 p.m. The cracks were found, but the assessment of the supervisor is that none of which were visibly deep enough that could affect public safety. DPR maintenance staff removed the weeds that were protruding through the cracks on the 27th of February. I went out there tonight before I got lost, couldn't find the new meeting place, and the weeds are back. I was walking the carts, and if you play, if there's slight rain, it is slippery. So I'm going to report back to DPR Parks and show them some pictures that I took early evening so they can take a look at it again. With regard to DPP, there were 2 issues, one of which related to providing quarterly statistics on building permits. The director informed me that more time is needed to gather data on the speed of building permit processing since implementation of H&L Build. Director said it's important to recognize that much of the speed of building permit processing relies on factors other than the platform itself, factors including the quality of applications submitted and the ability of applicants to timely and accurately address comments to reduce the number of review cycle times for a permit. They will, though, at some point in the near future, start sharing statistics. DPP shared a March 5th, 2026 public hearing status report or briefing that they had in council chambers. So I believe, Chair, that should have been uploaded. You should have that report on the status of H&L Build. If you don't have it, I will email it to you. And then yes. Secondly, with regard to DPP, it was reported that multiple vacation units at 45-201 Nohonani Place has been ongoing. The director reported since the February report, DPP scheduled and executed several inspections at 45201 Nohonani Place. And the inspector was able to speak to the property owner, who told the investigator that she does not operate STRs and has stopped since last year when she received a notice of violation and notice of order and fines. The investigator located during one of the investigations an active advertisement for the property, illegally advertising a stay of less than 30 days. The evidence was captured and provided for a basis of another notice of violation that'll be issued early in April 2026. That's all I have, and I'll hang on for questions.
Mahalo. Next is Councilmember Esther Kia-Aina.
Aloha and good evening, everyone. As Andy stated, the mayor has wrote out his budget, and there are a couple of projects related to Kaneohe for the He'a wastewater pump station, Hui Mano wastewater, preliminary treatment facility, Kawa stream and ditch, and Pali Golf Course. As many of you know, the federal funding that for Pahia Road for crosswalk improvements there, it did not come to fruition. But in talking to DTS earlier in the year, I am putting in some funds for quick build improvements until the necessary federal funding comes through for that. Given the recent Kona storm and the continuing rains and the incoming Kona storm, there's been a lot of challenges, as you know, in our roads and our streams. So Irene is going to put in the chat box. I know you guys know it, but I need to reiterate it because I'm inundated with both calls and emails that you need to differentiate for potholes, whether it's state or city. You can use the Honolulu 311 system. It is the most effective, but if you want to, we have put in the email for DFM roads at honolulu.gov and their hotline. DFM roads at honolulu.gov can also be used for streams as well. I was able to go out to a couple of places on Tuesday, both private residences as well as by Bayview Golf Course, where both Bayview as well as residents were adversely impacted. There's severe soil erosion occurring on the stream, abutting many of the homes that are by Bayview. So it's going to be a complicated process that's going to involve a lot of agencies. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are also facing their own damages to their homes. So I just want to reiterate the order of what people should be doing. Irene will be putting in the box from the state's Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, their guidance with regard to reporting storm damages, first to your primary insurance. Of course, there are claims against Hawaiian Electric. Hawaiian Electric's claims must be filed within 30 days of the power outage. And lastly, the city's Department of Emergency Management has an online form for people to talk about their damages. It's a self-reporting format. This is not for reimbursement, but simply to give the city an idea of the parameters of the damage. Okay, and then lastly, I know I've talked about having a emergency preparedness town hall. In discussion with Chair Toba from the Public Safety Committee, given the rash of fires a lot in residential homes that have been, that's been happening on Oahu. We are going to be holding on April 30th a informational briefing on the city's overall fire mitigation strategy. We will be inclusive of the state fire marshal, HICO, as well as the Kamehameha schools. We hope they would come. I'm telling them that we're not picking on anybody. We just believe that private landowners, including Alexander and Baldwin, for example, they all have major roles with regard to contributing to overall fire mitigation strategy. And then we also have hoping to have the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization there. And maybe within 3 months after that, then I was hoping, again, I think I'm going to narrowly tailor to fire mitigation first with regard to any town hall for the windward side. And that's my report. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions for the Takuta, Green, Blangiardi, Kia Aina representatives and those in person?
Got one comment over here. Shizum.
Go ahead, Dave.
This goes for Esther. Just wanted to actually say thank you. Previously, I'd worked with Irene from your office, identifying a section of sidewalk across from Fabric Mart and Jiffy Lube area that was getting difficult to pass because of a really big monkey paw tree. Back in January, it ended up getting assessed. Irene kept me up to date on that, and then it has subsequently been removed. So just wanted to say mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments for those representatives?
Sakamoto.
Go ahead, Donald.
Thank you, Chair. Question for Talia. First of all, thank you for helping me with my situation with my mail being delivered since my road is washed out due to the storm last weekend. But I read an article in the Star Advertiser yesterday that the U.S. Post Office is in trouble. They need more money. I was going to run out of money, and I'm worried that we have to pay outrageous stamps, maybe $1 from 78 cents. So I hope Congress can do something to alleviate the pay increase for stamps and UPS. I mean the mail, because it's going to be hard. I look forward for Congressman Takuta and the rest of the congressional delegation to do something. And for the governor, Diane, thank you for your report. I mentioned this last month about childcare. How is the governor addressing that for the state of Hawaii? A lot of people want to work, but they have children, and it's hard to find affordable daycare or anything right now in Hawaii. This is nationwide, and I think that would improve our workforce for people trying to apply for the state jobs there in our wonderful state of Hawaii. That's my question, if you can elaborate on that. And for the city council and the mayor, we have Kiahala Street again. It's a mess over there in Kaneohe, as well as the one behind Zippy's. I brought this up. The road is, but from the city buses are just eroding the road behind Zippy's, Kiahala Street or whatever it is. And we're looking for complete streets. And I've been checking the maps for the Department of Emergency Management, as well as the police and the fire department to be accessible. Right now it's not. So I hope we can meet the deadline of April 24th, 2026 for U.S. Department of Justice to have all counties and state websites accessible for people like myself and others. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sakamoto. Laura?
Laura here. Thanks, Esther, for going ahead and trying to do something about the Pahia crosswalk that we've been waiting. I think it's a decade now. Looking forward to that and for all of the information about how to apply for or what to do with your storm damage. That's really helpful. And thank you, Andy, for going ahead and looking at the tennis court. And I mean, it only has to be in Kaneohe that we have cracks that are acceptable. I question that one. So as you're telling them about the weeds and the slipperiness of the courts, can you please still include the cracks?
Okay,
Thanks.
will do. Yep.
And just to report, I had spoken with Deputy Director Robin Shishudo today about Kio Naole Road. There is a big sinkhole, and what one of the solutions being discussed, but there has to be some engineering done because it's a pretty healthy hole, and it does extend under the roadway. But they're looking at opening up two ways, but only one at a time. So one lane of traffic. That way you don't have to go through Ho'omalahia Botanical Park, which is open right now, that you can go from one side to the other to get to either the church or anybody who's going to Mr. Sakamoto's house can use that, provided you don't get stuck in the filming for Jumanji. So thank you very much for that information. Moving on to our Senator Jared Kihohokalole, who is here in person. Mahalo. Oh, and a round of applause.
Hi, aloha everyone, Chair, members of the board, members of the community. I think if it hasn't been announced already, one of my fellow electeds will mention we're hosting a town hall here at Windward Community College on April 13th. I brought some flyers back from work and I left them at my house. So I'll make sure that oh, there they are. Okay. Well, so we'll get those distributed out. Next week, Wednesday, the 25th, I'm hosting our community field trip to the state capitol. We take turns every year, Kailua Kaneohe. So this year, the pickup for the bus will be in Kailua town by the Longs, Kailua. There are a few more spots left. So if anyone wants to take a tour of the legislature, it's Wednesday morning. The bus will pick you up in Kailua and drop you back off over there. We'll host lunch, watch a floor session. Some of you folks know how this all goes, but this is the 4th year in a row that we've done it. And the first year where we haven't had the space is completely full. So if you know anybody who's interested or who's never actually gone to the legislature or who bothers you incessantly about state issues that don't get solved the way they want, then tell them come, and then we can talk about it. I especially want those guys to come in and check us out. Hopefully we'll have a special guest join us for lunch. I'm trying to convince him to come down from the 5th floor. So that's the field trip. We're in the middle of the session. I'm happy to talk about issues. I'm the Commerce Chair, so our major pieces of legislation I'm trying to work on this year are social media and AI, which is a really fast emerging area. We have a couple of pieces of legislation around digital assets and cryptocurrency. We have a number of measures related to good government and elections. And we're trying to shore up the budget situation. We've seen stagnant growth for the last several years since COVID. And the budget projections this year were not good. So we're trying to figure out how to balance the budget as is required by the state constitution without cutting core services, and hopefully without dramatically repealing or downsizing the income tax cuts that were passed several years ago. On the Senate side, we're trying really hard to avoid doing that for the vast majority of wage earners that would benefit from the law. So I'll stop there and happy to take questions.
Mahalo. Next, Senator Awa. Representative Kitagawa. Representative Matayoshi.
Oh, sorry,
Hi,
I'm on for Representative Kitagawa.
Okay,
Can
off
you
you
hear
go.
me? Okay. So I'm Kristen. I'm one of Rep. Kitagawa's legislative aides. So I'll just give a few updates and then I can take any questions back for her. So thank you to everyone who completed our community survey. We received over 560 responses, which was really great from our community members. And you should have gotten or will soon get our survey results in the mail. We will also be sharing the information in our e-newsletter this Friday. And then, as was already mentioned, there will be a town hall coming up on April 13th that Rep. Kitagawa will also be a part of. So just to mention that it'll be from 5:30 to 7:30 and 5:30 to 6 p.m. HECO will share information about renewable energy zones. And if you're interested in attending, you can RSVP at bit.ly/Kaneohe Town Hall 2026 for seating and refreshment purposes. But yeah, if anyone has any questions for Rep. Kitagawa, I can take those questions back to her. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Representative Matayoshi.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Emma Barron. I'm on behalf of Representative Matsuyoshi. I'm his legislative aide with some updates for you. So at this time in the legislative session, the House bills have crossed over to the Senate and vice versa. So a few of our surviving bills that are currently being circulated in the Senate side are our cell phone bill, which is HB 1559, our prediction market bill, which is HB 2198, and our unsolicited mail bill, HB 1511, just to name a few. For some community updates, we've received some capital improvement project funding for Hawaii State Hospital, Kaneohe Elementary School, and He'eia Elementary School. Lastly, for some events, I know it was already covered, but from Rep. Kitagawa and Senator Kehokolole, but we will be having our Kaneohe Town Hall on April 13th, and we will be posting details and the flyer in our newsletter, both online and in the mail. I know it was also mentioned about the Malama 96744 community cleanup at April 11th at Kaneohe District Park. You can also contact our office or PACT Hawaii to register for the event prior to April 8th, the cutoff date. In addition, there's Ho'olu He'eia at Windward Mall on April 4th and Kaneohe Service Fair at Kaneohe Community Park on April 17th. Thank you so much.
Representative Mike Lee.
Aloha everyone. Sorry my camera is not working at the moment. So I will just
We can hear
please
you
bear
just
with
fine.
me.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. My name is Jonah McNear, and I'm speaking on behalf of Representative Mike Lee as his legislative committee clerk. We are excited that the new legislative session is already more than halfway done. We sincerely appreciate the residents of Kaneohe and their input regarding community concerns and legislative issues. We appreciate the contributions that they have made to bills and how they have made their voices heard. Bills introduced in the House have already passed the House chamber and are now being considered in the Senate chamber. Rep. Lee has been taking charge of the House Committee on Labor, and there are several bills that he has co-introduced, and we are trying to get them through the Senate. These bills include HB 2021, which would ensure e-bike rider and pedestrian safety by enacting safety rules, including age limits, helmets, and operating restrictions. HB 2361, which would strengthen the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council's ability to fulfill its important advisory role in ensuring the sustainable use of Kaneohe Bay, and HB 1588, which will help reduce noise pollution on Hawaii's roadways, including H3, by establishing a noise detection program. And that concludes my official report, and our office is open to any questions. Mahalo.
Okay, floor is open to questions for the senators and the representatives. Any questions at this time?
Sakamoto.
Go ahead, Donald.
Yeah. Don Sakamoto, Jared, thank you for your report. I have a Senate bill that I want to know the status, if you can give an answer. SB 2151. This is to regulate the governor from doing executive order for emergencies and whatnot. So I believe there's a hearing tomorrow. But can you elaborate more about the bill? What does it do?
2151.
Yeah, SB 2151.
I believe this is. Okay, yeah, so this is, I think we've introduced a bill like this every year since COVID.
Yeah.
To implement fundamentally the piece that hasn't changed over the 4 years is to institute a legislative override of the governor's emergency order authority, which doesn't exist now. I think there are multiple emergency orders that this governor signed at the beginning of his tenure that he's essentially been rolling over continually since he took office. You know, I sat on the special committee on COVID during the pandemic, and what we learned was that the governor has extraordinary power in an emergency situation via the declaration. So I got to reference the bill for the specific particulars, but the pieces that have been of particular concern over the years are his ability to essentially ignore public records requests, and then that provision that would allow the legislature to override and end an emergency declaration by vote.
Okay, I appreciate the clarification. I'm trying to follow that, but it's very hard to understand.
Yeah,
but
there
thank
are
you.
other specific details we can talk about if you have other
Yeah, I appreciate it.
questions on it, but that's basically it. Trying to clarify and narrow the scope of his authority because it's quite broad right now.
Yeah, I appreciate the explanation. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Aloha,
Okay,
I
I'm
have a
not
question for Senator Kehokalole. If there's a status update on HB 2360.
Give me a second, I'll look it up.
Can you repeat your name again, please?
This is Ku'u
Last name?
Pascal.
This is for the minutes. I'm sorry, I was speaking while you gave your last name. Can you do it once more?
Ku'u Pascal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's okay. HB 2360 relating to paid family leave.
Yes.
Okay. I need to go check with that. That bill is referred on a joint referral to the Labor Committee and to my committee. We haven't heard from the Labor Chair yet on his prerogative related to the bill, but I can go and check because the lead committee usually does the scheduling. If you have a particular feeling on the bill, then I'm happy
Yes,
to take that into
we strongly
consideration.
support it.
You oppose it?
No, we strongly support it.
Okay.
Question.
you.
Laura?
Okay, sure. If you call our office tomorrow, then I can make sure that my staff gets back to you on what happens with the bill. There's another week and a half for legislative time. So I'll go back and check with the Labor Chair on what we're going to do there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Laura?
Aloha, Senator Kay. So the bill about AI, can you explain that and how's that going?
Sure. There are two bills. The one that I introduced is Senate Bill 3001, and it relates to AI chatbots. At the beginning of the legislature in January, we held an informational briefing after a constituent in our district shared with me a transcript of an AI chat conversation that her daughter engaged in on a website called character.ai, which basically can take any character, fictional characters, but also real characters. And what the program does, it allows AI to embody the persona of those characters or a celebrity or anyone you decide, and then engage in sort of role play scenarios with this fictional personality. And so we didn't disclose the identity of her daughter, but essentially the role play included really aggressive grooming on a part of a fictional anime cartoon character who took the form of a real person and aggressively pursued her in a long transcript, which included violent behavior, grabbing her, chasing her, pushing her up against the wall. There was a later instance where they engaged in a romantic relationship. He hit her, threatened her, And this was all in a sort of fictionalized role play. The daughter is 12 years old. She was 7th grade. And so it was really disturbing. We found out through some research on it that this sort of trend has emerged nationally and actually across the world. There was another instance of it in Australia. If any of you engage with the large language model AI like ChatGPT, you'll come to be used to the fact that the program is written to sort of validate any question you ask. And so because we're right at the beginning of this technology development, we're starting to see some really disturbing consequences of that the companies are navigating. And what we want to do is just start by putting in some emerging consensus guardrails around having kids access this technology, around the technology not validating self-harming behaviors or other types of toxic behavior. Like if someone asks, about how to build a bomb or how to tie a noose or something, not having the programs automatically validate that behavior and help them along the way. So some of these guardrails are starting to emerge across the country. I'm not sure if the bill will ultimately pass. We need to have a conversation about it, and the community needs to be apprised of the fact that their kids might be involving themselves with these programs that are really meant for either mature audiences or are not appropriate for kids to get involved with at this point.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no other questions, we'll move on to board business. That will be the approval of the February 2026 meeting minutes. It's been forwarded to all the board members. Any changes, addendums, edits? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the minutes?
Sakamoto motions to accept the minutes as is.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposition or abstention? Excellent. Moving on to a vote to disestablish Kaneohe Canoe Club Permitted Interaction Group. Discussion? This has come up because nothing has happened in over a year. Any further discussion? Motion to disestablish by Carsonson. Any second?
Sakamoto.
Seconded.
Okay.
Vote to disestablish the Kaneohe Canoe Club PIG. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? Okay, excellent. We also have a bunch of committees that are vacant. So before we get into committee reports and assignments, I just remind everybody that if you have a passion for something in the community and you want to be involved in it, being on a committee or being a committee chair is a great way to do it. You can run your own meetings, you can set your own agendas, you can deal with a variety of different things. So we have the education committee, which is vacant. Maybe we'll fill those with the castle team. Haiku Stairs is vacant, and I believe that there's a court order to a stay right now for Haiku Stairs. So if anybody wants to jump on that, it's still state legislative. Environmental is vacant. So anybody who wants to jump on a board, please do it. If you want to establish a new one, bring it up to the board. Any committee reports at this time?
Sakamoto.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I just want to make a clarification on the agenda. My name is not on the emergency with Fatel, Guedevis, and Carson, so in fact that can be added on for next agenda item. Yeah, next month.
Very well.
Thank you.
And then Chair, if I may. Emergency Preparedness Fair at Windward Mall will be May 2nd, Saturday, May 2nd. If you can attend, please do.
Where's that?
Windward Mall.
Any other committee reports? Awesome. Well then, our next meeting, yes.
Yeah, US DOT has a representative coming to visit with the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization. So as a vice chair of the UMPO, with me. And so I appreciate any feedback anyone has on how the OMPO works, and if anyone wants to provide additional detail they want to talk about regional planning. So
Thank you. Our next regular board meeting is Thursday, April 16th, 6:30 at Windward Community College. Looks like we're here again at Hale Akoakoa. And oh, okay. Oh, got it. Okay. So we will be here. Good to know. Thanks very much. No other, oh, by the ways, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.